I genuinely believe that my ability to create systems, my ability to create organizational systems, business systems is one of my greatest gifts. And I'm excited to share how I do that using Notion, our Notion dashboard today. So it's going to be super fun. Hi, Kim. We've got Alyssa in the chat as well. So let me know in the chat, guys, how many of you guys are currently using Notion? Potentially, you could be using ClickUp. You might be using Airtable. You could just be using Google Drive. You could just be using your Notes app. But let me know what tools and what platforms you guys are currently using to run your business. When I started, hi, Megan, super happy to have you here. I know Megan jumped in and got the Notion dashboard earlier today, or earlier this week, rather. Super excited for you. What is Notion? Notion is really designed to be like a jack of all trades when it comes to organization. I think it started out as more of just like a more robust version of the Notes app, but it quickly became really like an all-in-one tool that for us replaced Airtable, replaced ClickUp, replaced Monday.com. A couple of you guys are using Trello. There's some ways for you to use. You can set up workflows and views, which I'll show you guys in a couple moments here. Just like Trello, if you like that board style. And Notion really came out of the gate with an incredible platform. We now use it to manage all of our team members. It's extraordinarily cheap. The free version will allow you to use the templates and do a lot of the things that I'm about to show you guys today. And as it grows, I think it works out to being like $5 a month for each team member that you have on it. So we pay about $15 a month, I think, for our entire team to use Notion. So when you compare that with something like Airtable, when we were using Airtable, in order to get the features that we needed the pro version. It was costing us around $100 to $145 a month to use Airtable. Monday.com is up there in that price range as well. ClickUp is a little bit on the lower cost end, but you're still looking at like $20 to $47 a month. And, you know, we've really used all of these and worked behind the scenes in businesses that use all of these different tools. And Notion is just the most robust version of it that we've ever found. And it really combines all of the beautiful pieces, like all of the things that we loved about ClickUp, all of the things that we loved about Airtable, all of the things that we loved about Monday.com. It really, for the first time ever, really brought that into one space. And so we migrated our entire business over to Notion earlier this year. And that's the platform that I foresee us using in the foreseeable future as we continue to grow and scale our business, because it really does do pretty much everything. Okay. Now I want to quickly talk about the importance of being organized. I know some of you guys here are loving getting organized. However, there is always more organization to be done, especially as a business owner. Guys, I am losing my voice a little bit, so bear with me a little bit if I lose my voice here with you. But being organized is so unbelievably important, okay? Even if you spend 1 minute of your day looking through your Canva account, looking through your emails, looking through your Google Docs, that's honestly equal to 6 hours of your year, if that's just 1 minute of your day that you are using to look and search for things in your business. Just imagine what you guys could do with 6 hours extra a year. Right? That would absolutely, for a lot of you guys, completely change the way that you run and organize your business. And a lot of you guys, 6 hours, you guys could plan all of your content. You guys could map out your courses. Y'all could create your checkouts. There's a lot that can be done in 6 hours. And that's assuming that you're only wasting 1 minute of every day throughout the year looking and hunting for things or logging into different platforms. How many of you guys have your business on multiple different platforms? We are at a stage now where we're just using Notion and we're just using Kajabi. Okay. So super important to be organized, to implement this. One of the things that I love about this dashboard is that we've made it super simple for you guys to get in here and make it your own. If you take the 15 minutes, and I mean it, 15 minutes to set this up, you will set your business up for so much success. And can you imagine spending 15 minutes and literally getting 6 hours of your time back? It's genuinely pretty wild and pretty crazy. Yesterday, for example, I took 3 hours and I planned out all of our content from now until the Christmas break in December. Okay. And so that's 6 hours. You can do a lot in that time. And my goal is that in showing you guys the Notion dashboard today, that you guys are able to save quite a bit of time and actually have more time on your hands to be doing the things that really matter. Like serving your students, creating content, and setting up systems and structures inside your business. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen on the Notion dashboard. And the templated version of this looks a little bit different. So some of you guys, the version that you guys have might look a little bit different. I'm going to show you guys the full version that I currently use in my business, and I'll point out as we go which parts of this are included in our dashboard, because the majority of them are. Okay, so right when you log in, this is what your Notion dashboard is going to look like. And the way it's set up is you have this home page here, which I'll walk you guys through in a moment. We have this home page here, and this is where you want to put like all of the most important things. You want them to be summarized on this home page. Okay, and I'll walk you through what this home page looks like in a moment. Then on the left-hand side, we have the quick links section. So these will link out to other areas of Notion, which look exactly like this. So every single thing in Notion is going to look like this. It's going to be a page. You guys can see that it's very visual. You can make it colored. You can do a lot of things with it. And every page that you go to is going to look similar to this. So if I click on the time management one, you guys can see it looks very similar. We've got the colored sections, and I'll show you guys how all this works in a moment. Okay, so let's walk through what we have going on here and why it's important. So obviously the quick links, there's a lot of them here. I'm going to walk you through a few of them, specifically the time management one, the social media content planning one, the analytics dashboard, and I'm also going to walk you guys through the monthly recurring revenue one that we have, because those are the ones that are included inside your Notion dashboard template that we have available for you guys. In the middle, we have the office hours. A lot of you guys are running your business without office hours, and just like a job, I find when you give yourself deadlines, timelines, it really helps you stay focused and really get things done. You guys can see that I practically run my business from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. most days. Fridays, I try to take off, and weekends, I do my best not to work unless I'm not working during the week. And so this is just a place where you can, hi, Steph, super happy to see you. This is just a place where you can document your work hours so that you know, okay, 10:30 on Monday, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to open up Notion, I'm going to get to work. On the right-hand side, you can see that we have a section for you to put in your business goals. Totally up to you if you want to put in business goals that are a massive stretch, so something that someone might call realistic, or if you want to set up business goals that are a little bit more grand, a little bit bigger. So I've gone the realistic route here. You can see that we're currently stretching into $100,000 months and $1 million per year in annual revenue. And I've also put in 200 people here as the number of clients we want to serve this year in our Design to Scale program. And this just allows you guys to get used to seeing your goals. It normalizes these numbers in your brain the more often that you see them. And it just keeps you on track and reminds you why you're doing this. Something you may also want to put in here is like a why section. Why are you doing this? Why are you building your business? Why is this important to you? This can help you stay focused and be reminded of what it is that you guys are doing here as you go through. So the next section on this main area is our traffic and marketing plan. And y'all, if you guys don't know what your brand is, who your brand helps, what your brand does, the intention of your brand, what your marketing plan is, who you're talking to, what specific problems you're hoping to solve in your industry, which platforms you're using as a nurture-based platform, which ones you're using as an outreach-based platform, how often you guys are actually posting, you're running your business blind. And it's probably the reason why you guys are overwhelmed and overwhelmed and confused as you guys actually go through your business. And so this section is really designed to get you crystal clear on who you're talking to and why you're talking to them. So that if you ever are confused or stuck creating content, you can come back to this section and really just get that moment of clarity and remind yourself of what you're doing here. So on the left-hand side, we have the marketing plan, and on the right-hand side, we have the brand identifiers. You know, the brand identifiers being, how do I want my people to feel in my business? What is my business's mission? You can see ours is to turn 100,000 coaches into 7-figure business owners. We're working on that. We're well on our, what phrases do I use all the time that can help my audience? What emojis do I use frequently? What objects or brand identifiers do I use? For me, it's this purple water bottle. People know that this is me. My morning matcha. I share my morning matcha on my Instagram stories every single day. This says walks along the ocean, but it should really be walks along the lake. Soon to be the ocean as I head out for Thailand in a couple of weeks here, which is crazy. And so you guys will be able to go through here and flush this out for yourself. So you always have it here and available to you. Again, one of the reasons why people are so overwhelmed in their businesses is simply because they don't know what they're doing and when they are doing it. And this just allows you to cut some of that fluff out. The next section that we have here is the transformational offer and sales planner. This section is something that I created unique from within our Design to Scale community. I find that a lot of people have a lot of ideas for offers, but they don't know what questions to ask or how to ask them to actually see how they're going to market this, how many people they actually want in their courses and their programs. And this section really cuts all the confusion out of marketing your offer. So you have two views here, and you guys will see a lot of these view switches that we have throughout the templates and the formulas, which I'll show you guys as we continue to go through here. So we have the table formula, which is the view that you're seeing here. And then we also have the calendar view, which is this view right here. And as you guys can see, the Notion business dashboard template that we sold earlier this week is kind of shown here as being open cart from Monday to Friday, which is accurate. This is when we have been selling this. And so the goal here is that it actually gives you a calendar overview of when you're planning, when you're launching, and when you're actually selling things in your business. And the idea here is that it makes it super easy for you just to get a visual overview of what your priorities are on each day in your business. But let's walk through how this offer tracker actually works, because I think it's freaking game changing. So along the side here, you can see that you have the offer name. If you guys were to have a new idea, you would come in here and pop your new idea name in here. And it's going to do a couple of things for you. But first, I want you guys to fill out this table. So this table is pretty self-explanatory. You have a drop down here that says, what type of offer is this? So I'm just going to say that this is a one-to-one coaching package. What is the offer price? I'm just going to say here that it's $5,000 per month. How many spots do you have available? This is like how many spots do you want to sell? I'm going to say I have 20, although that's a extraordinarily unscalable and very taxing business model. We can talk about that another time. And you can see here that it's going to spit out your potential revenue. Okay, so it's going to spit out your potential revenue. So if I was to sell out my one-on-one coaching at $5,000 with 20 spots, I would make 100 grand. Okay, so that's the potential revenue that there is from that offer and from that idea. We then have a calendar selector, and you guys assumed correctly, this is going to plot the dates on that calendar view that we just showed you. And so I'm just going to say, okay, I'm going to sell this from November 7th to November 11th. November 7th, I need to pick an end date to November 11th. And then we have the launch window, which, okay, I messed those up. So the offer length is when it starts and when it ends. Okay, so I'm going to say that this starts on the 7th, and I'm going to say that it ends on the 25th. Let's just say hypothetical. Offer length is when the program starts, or when the offer actually starts, when you're actually implementing it with the client, and when it ends. The launch window is when you're actually selling it. So I'm just going to say that I was launching this from the 24th and I finished launching it on the 4th. So I'm going to sell this for 2 weeks. And then you can see over on the right-hand side here that we have the actual number of spots that you sold. So I wanted to sell 20. Let's just say I only sold 5. Then my total revenue from that is going to spit out another thing here is $25,000. Okay, $25,000. Now, what's really cool is that if you, I'm trying to get used to Chantal's magic mouse here, but you guys can see that on the bottom, we have these sums that happen. So this is, showing you the potential revenue. And what I recommend everybody doing is really coming in here and plotting all of your products, all of your launches out in here so that you can see what your potential revenue is if you actually show up. This is a massive motivating number for me personally to sit here and say, that I have the opportunity to generate $1.1 million for myself this year. And this is not all of our products that are in here, because we just started using Notion about 3 months ago, and we really do only sell the Design to Scale and then some of these smaller products that happen here. But this number to me is super, super motivating. And then this on this side should ideally tell you your total sales. So if you filled this side out correctly, this will tell you your total sales for the year based on the actual number of spots that you've sold. Okay, so this view here specifically is just to help you start to understand what the offer is, when you're selling it, what the price is, what the potential revenue is that's coming out of this offer, and to allow you to actually see it on a calendar so that you can get your shit together and get organized and have somewhere to look when you are actually looking. So if we look at November, it's gone ahead here and it's plotted those dates that we plotted out on this calendar for us, the launch window and the delivery window. Okay, so that's what this calendar view is specifically for. Now, the better part of this, and the part that I absolutely love, as you guys will see here on the right-hand side, that it's going to let you click this little open button. Okay, and I'm going to go into the new idea name because I don't want to give you guys all of our design to scale marketing secrets. So I'm going to open up this brand new blank one here. And if I open it, you guys can see on the bottom that I get the opportunity to use this offer creation template. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to switch this so that it's a default. And if I open this up here, moving forward, anytime you guys open or create a new idea, it'll actually pop open this beautiful template for you on the right-hand side to help you really flesh out all of the marketing details that you guys need to know, all of the important links, your checkout links, your PayPal links, your Stripe links. You can put those all in here so they're available to you in one place. And this is really designed to help you guys map out all of the details you know to sell something. What's the name of this offer? What if it's a program, what's the name of that? If it's a course, what's the name of that? What's the transformation statement? How are you going to actually deliver this result? How is your client coming into your business and how are they coming out of this offer, right? So for example, we help course creators go from overwhelmed and not generating sales and posting content on their social media hamster wheel to having a fully functioning multiple six-figure business that they can run in 6 hours or less per day. That's a transformation statement. Okay, that's an idea of a transformation statement that tells you and gives you an idea of where people are when they come into Design to Scale and where we want them to be at the end of the program. Okay. The offer details section is exactly as it sounds. Is this a masterclass? Is it one-on-one coaching, VIP intensive, group coaching? What's the investment? Is there a pre-sale price? Is there a secondary pre-sale price? Is there a pay in full price? Do you have payment plans? You guys can come in here and check these off and say, yes, okay, I have a 3-month payment plan. I have a full price, etc. And so you'll just type in whatever the price is here beside this. Let's say your pre-sale price is $49. Your full price is going to end up being $69. Or $597. Let's not cheap out on ourselves here. And then if you have payment plans here, for example, it would be something like 3 by, obviously this math is wrong, but just go with me, 3 by $100. And then here you have the opportunity to put in your checkout links. Okay. Let's keep going. The offer deliverables and the logistics. This is how, okay? This is the how you're actually going to run your offer. This is how you're actually going to bring it to life. We've got where will it happen? Is it going to be on Facebook? Is it going to be in Zoom? Are you going to do it in Voxer? Is it a Kajabi portal? This is a one-on-one coaching. So I'm just going to say it's in Voxer and it's in Zoom. How are you going to deliver this offer? Are you going to do slides and video lessons, just video, no slides? Are you going to do this in Facebook Live? Are you going to have it in Zoom rooms? You're probably going to have it in Zoom rooms if it's a one-to-one. Okay, so this just helps you map out how you're going to deliver it. And then the other more important thing when it comes to offers is the boundaries around it. So how often are you going to be checking in on your Voxer clients? For me, on Voxer clients, I check in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, once a day. Chantel checks in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, once a day. And so I would put that in here, right? This example says I will check the Facebook group once per day, Monday to Friday. And then the secondary section here is any graphics. So let's just say you create graphics in Canva for this. You can link to those here. So they're super easy to find. The next section is the actual marketing and the messaging around your offer. Who is the specific person that you are going to be speaking to? Who is this for? Who is the specific person that this thing is for? And all of these light bulb moments throughout this template allow me to just be reminded of what this section is all about. Okay. So you guys can see what's the specific person this offer is for, what's the specific problem that we're solving, what's the specific way that we do this, what's different about how you do this than how everybody else does this, right? If we're talking about Design to Scale, the thing that's different about Design to Scale from how everybody else does it is we have lifetime access. Okay, you have access to group coaching calls, a minimum of twice a week. We do mindset calls. You have that portal that's always there and always available to you. We give prizes away every week to hold you guys accountable. And more importantly, we don't just give you the what and the why, which is what a lot of courses do. We actually give you very detailed instructions and tutorials on how to actually do it. So that's what makes us different. We're teaching you the skills. We're not telling you our unique way. We're building a unique strategy for you and helping you figure out how to build that and scale that all the way into 6 figures. Okay. We've also got another section here for offer messaging. I'm not going to go through these individually because they're part of the kind of template. But then you can also see that we have a section here where you can track your sales. So what students joined, what are their names? This just allows you to kind of pop in here and say, okay, Ashley B took the first spot. Jenna C took the second spot. You can even put in their email addresses and stuff like that in here if you want to have that all in one place. So it's super easy for you to work through. And then we've given you a section here at the bottom where you can simply work through whatever the actual content is that you plan on delivering. So for us, if we look at our program, for example, Design to Scale, and it's going to take a second, but I'm just going to pop over here and show you guys how we're mapping this out. I don't know why it's taking so long, but if I go into Design to Scale, you guys can see I have a section here, Design to Scale curriculum, and then this is everything kind of mapped out here. So I go into this page and it's everything that we covered in our kickoff call. If I go into foundations, these are all the things that we teach in our foundation space. Okay, so it gives you that opportunity to really map out, again, I'm in this offers section, what goes into your actual program. And this is going to automatically pop up every time you create a different idea. Okay, and then the final section on this homepage is our tech and important links section. And this is a place for you guys. I'm just going to hide our passwords here. This is a super important section for you guys to use. It's just a place for you guys to keep your links and templates in one place. You guys can see we've got the Design to Scale login link here. We've got our branded Gmail login here. We've got our Zoom account here. We've got our Canva account here. We've got all of our social media accounts linked up in here, all of the tools that we're using. And it also will allow me to view different sections. So if I go into templates, if I go into that templates view, and again, if I expand this out, it'll show them across the top here. If I go into templates, you can see that we've got the Canva templates that we use kind of linked up in here. And there are a bunch of other ones that are yet to be migrated. And then of course we have the important links section. Okay, so these are important links that we need. You can see that we've got a link to our book a call page, the Zoom room, my Instagram account, our Dropbox folder for repurposing, our Instagram Reels Google Drive, our TikToks Google Drive, our YouTube Clicks Google Drive. And so these are just super simple for me to have in here, and I don't have to go hunting through Google Drive every time I'm trying to find the right folder, okay? So that's really what this section on the bottom here is for, is just to keep all of your links and all of your logins and all of your passwords actually organized. So that's the home page, okay? That's the home page, which is a lot, okay? We've got another one up here called Team Responsibilities. This is not included in the dashboard, but it is quite cool. And I'll just show you guys how we have this mapped out. We have 3 team members on our team. We've got myself, we've got Chantal, and we've got Alex. And essentially, we've just kind of listed out our general responsibilities. And then you guys can see that some of these are linked as pages. And this is how we break down the processes that need to be followed. So this is how we systemize our business. I think that this is a must. Even if you are literally just running your business solo, it's really important to write down the actual tasks that you are doing and to create a process around how you are doing it. Failure to do this will mean that when you do bring on new team members, you do not have a process that you can hand out to them, and they will not know how to do what it is that you want them to do in their own way. Okay, so this is super important. Again, this isn't included in the template, but I just wanted to show you guys how it works. The next one that we have here is time management, and this is exactly what it sounds like. It is how we manage our time across all of our team members within our business. This is included in the dashboard, so I'll show you guys this one a little bit more in depth. So you guys can see that I've broken it down into all of our team members, me, Chantal, and our girl, Alex. And essentially you've got these sections at the top that you can open up and expand. And I break my to-do list down into a couple of different sections. I have doing tasks. So these are the everyday tasks that I'm actually doing. I have management tasks. So these are planning, this is overseeing, this is team meetings. And then I have my vision and my planning tasks, which is forefront thinking, next 3 years, big picture thinking that I do. And I do most of that on Fridays. Okay. So the way that this works is these are obviously your Monday to Friday sections. And then I've created sections down here and I've categorized them into daily tasks, weekly tasks, and monthly tasks. And so for me, these are the things that I do every day on a daily basis. And the goal here is that you want to list out everything you need to do every day in this section. In the weekly tasks, you want to list everything that you need to do on a weekly basis. And then on a monthly basis, you guys can see I have these one as well. And the way that I personally use this is every Friday, I come in here and I clean this out. So this one's not cleaned out yet, but I'll clean this out by simply coming up here, and you guys can see I started cleaning this out for this week. I delete all the to-dos, and then I will reset them. So the way that I do that is I just come down here, I copy these daily tasks, Control C, I come up here and I paste. Okay, I come up here and I paste. And then I do that for each day. So the daily task would go in here every day, because these are things that I need to do every day. And then I check them off on starting on the following Monday. I come in here and I check them off. I do the same thing every single week for all of our team members. So I have the same thing in here for Chantel. You can see I have Chantel's daily tasks, her weekly tasks, her monthly tasks, and her quarterly tasks. And then I have the same thing down here for Alex. So I have Alex daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly tasks planned out in here as well. Okay. Do you not pay Alex? 100% pay Alex. Yeah, she has to invoice me though. There's a difference there. That's why it's not in there. I have to physically pay Chantel. She invoices me, which is the kind of the ticker to get me to do it. Good question though. Funny question. So this is how we manage our time. And this is how I keep track of how much time I'm spending actually doing things in my business versus managing things in my business. One of the things we teach you inside Design to Scale is how much time you should be spending in the doing, in the managing, and in the planning stages of your business based on how much revenue you guys are currently making and what's kind of happening in your businesses. And that's how I keep that kind of organized and structured. It sounds like a lot to go in there and update that every single week, but it probably takes me 10 minutes and it saves me a million minutes. I literally log in, I click on time management, I pop down whatever day I'm on, and then I check them off one by one. Okay, that's what I do. I check them off one by one. Once the to-do list is done, that's it. I trust that it's enough and I get to go do whatever I want to do for the day. So let's get into the social media content planning one, because I think this one is probably the most robust one. And there's a couple of things here. Right off the hop, I have our content plan overview. Okay, and this, I'll pop it down really quickly, but this is our entire content plan, how it works, where content is going, what's going out where, what gets repurposed into where. And you guys can see that it's based on the platform. So I've got it sorted by TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok stories, email marketing, and then our free Facebook group, which you guys are in right now. And then what happens on every day inside of those. And this is just something for our team to have and review if they're ever like, oh, it's Friday, I forget what needs to happen here on each of the platforms. They can kind of come in here and just look at it and see what's happening. The next one I have here is my content tracking section, and this is something that we've included in your section as well. Across the left-hand side is meant to be your content theme. So the things that you talk about most often, if you guys are running group coaching programs, your content themes should be the modules that you guys actually have. Those should be your content themes. If you're, talking about things outside of what you teach in your programs, it's very unlikely that it's actually going to lead to sales. So just make sure that these on the left-hand side are the themes of your content or your coaching that you do most often. And then across the top here, I've got different types of content. So you can see this one here is PA, that means problem awareness. I've got agitation, I've got outcome, I've got story, I've got myths. So common myths, client wins and celebrations, shareable quotes, just deep value content, and then before and after. And so, give me 1 second. The goal here, guys, is that you can come in here any day. You guys ever had this happen? Good times. This is what happens when you teach a lot. We're revamping the Design to Scale course completely from start to finish right now. I just spend a lot of my day talking this loud at my computer. So it happens. We're working on it. But the goal here is that you can come in and pick a theme And you can either run through all of the different types for each theme. So you could say this would be Monday, this would be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And therefore you're talking about Instagram marketing, for example, for about 2 weeks if you did one post for each one. Or you can come in here and you can say, I'm really excited to talk about analytics today. What type of content do I want to create? I'd actually really like to create a piece of education content. And you can check this off once you kind of created it and planned it. And I'll show you guys how we do that. So the next section that we have here is our calendar and kind of our overall plan. And you can see here, it's kind of broken down into a bunch of different formats. The first format is the workflow. And this is where I take things, this kind of looks like a Trello board, right? Where you can take things from idea and drag them around. This is where I'll come in and brain dump. You guys can see I have lots of ideas happening over here for different pieces of content that I want to create. So this is where I'll come and I'll actually brain dump different ideas for different types of content. And then once I've figured out which one it goes, I'll check it off up here. But this is where you can kind of say, okay, it was an idea. Now it needs a graphic. It's scheduled and it's ready to go and it's scheduled. And you can kind of just see how, like, where things are. I personally set aside about an hour each week where I come in, I look at the ideas and I start to move them through the workflow for our stuff. The other views that we have are based on the actual platforms. You guys can see here, there's one for our Facebook group, our Instagram content, our email marketing. Then I've got our Pinterest, our YouTube content, and yeah, that's about it. TikTok, I do ad hoc. I don't actually plan my TikToks. I just create my TikToks. So they're not tracked in here. But then you can see that you've got the actual calendar view as well, which shows you all of the content that's kind of going out across the different platforms. I'm obviously on the free Facebook group platform. So this is just the content that's coming out on the free Facebook group. You guys can see it here. It's all scheduled. It's all planned out. You can see some of them say scheduled. That's because Alex has gone in and scheduled these. And some of these are in progress. And that's because I've written the content on them. Right? So if you come down here, you can see this is the content that Alex is going to share with you guys next week. And then she marks them as scheduled once they're done. So she'll come in here and say, actually, this is not in progress anymore. This is scheduled. And this allows us to get a really great overview of everything that's kind of happening, all the content that's really happening in our business. The same is true if I go to the Instagram one. You can start to see the Instagram planner. And what I really like about these different views, you can see the email marketing ones, which Chantal has scheduled out all of our email marketing for the next couple of weeks because she is going to be in Greece. And so you can see that all of our emails that need to go out here are scheduled, and she's marked them all as scheduled here so that I can go in and kind of see what's kind of happening. Now, the really cool thing about Notion, and you guys will remember the template that we created for you guys on the offer. Well, you can create templates in any board like this. So if I click on the drop down, you can see that I have templates created for the Facebook group, for Pinterest idea pins, our YouTube shorts, our email list. And what these templates really do is just allow us to kind of get an idea of what needs to go in each different type of post and how each is going to be kind of used. So I'm just going to show you guys really quickly an Instagram one. So I'm on the Instagram content one. I'm going to click this plus button to add an item on this specific date. And you guys can see that I'm just going to say test, delete later. There's a lot up here, okay? We repurpose a lot of content. Yours won't look like this if you're just posting content on Instagram, but a lot of our content is repurposed. And so it has the actual publish date. We can select the platform. So let's just say that I want this actually to be an Instagram carousel post. And then I also want it to be in our free Facebook group. And I also want to put this in the Money and Momentum Facebook group. That will make it show up on all of the different calendars. Okay. And then I've got all of these other kind of elements here at the top, which put it on different calendars. So let's just say I wanted to repurpose this as a TikTok post. I can go into the TikTok section here. I can say, okay, I actually want to put this on TikTok on November 22nd, and it's going to show up on my TikTok calendar for November 22nd. If I wanted to reuse this as a YouTube video, I'm going to select YouTube on November 17th, and I'm going to say that it is a long form YouTube video, and I'm going to say that it's in progress. And that's going to really allow me to see this one piece of content and how it can be repurposed and redistributed across multiple different platforms, including our email list. Okay. And the reason why I'm showing you guys how to do this is so that you guys can, and it's so in depth, is so that you guys can really customize this to your own business. So if you just have an Instagram, for example, and that's all that you're really putting out there, then you'll want to delete these other sections so that it's again, just more customized for you and your business specifically. But this really keeps us organized and allows us to just see what's going on all of the different platforms at any given time. And you can also set it up with different things showing on the front here. So if you wanted to see the image, you can actually have it pull the Instagram image and put the image here on the date. So you actually have a visual representation of it, which is super cool. We don't do that. I don't need to see the image, but you guys can see how this works here. And I'm going to really quickly show you guys a couple of the actual templates that are in yours. This was the original version of this that we created. But for example, when you guys go to click new, you'll have a bunch of different kind of templates here, and I'll walk you through which ones you guys will have in your dashboard. So the first one is the YouTube template. So for any of you guys who are using YouTube, it'll actually pull up my entire YouTube planning process here for you guys. This is so valuable if you guys are running YouTube channels. It's exactly how I plan and develop and get everything ready to be uploaded on our YouTube channel. And I want to show you guys the bottom of this dashboard, because this content planning one, because it's pretty incredible. So I've broken down the different types of content that there are and how to actually write these content types for you guys. I've given you all of our scripts, all of our ideas of how to actually do this. There really are only 3 different types of content that are created. There's a direct offer, there's an indirect, and there's a non-CTA. So a direct offer is you directly selling something. Indirect is you asking for an email, or you do give a CTA at the end, but it's value-based, it's not purchase-based. So this would say, an indirect, for example, is when you're promoting a freebie or an opt-in, and a non-CTA is just pure value. You're not telling people to do anything. But the more valuable part of this dashboard is actually this section here. We did a training 3 weeks ago now. It is saved in the guide section. I highly recommend you guys go watch it. And we talked about problem awareness content, agitation content, and story-based content. You guys can see here that the bubbles explain what these types of content are. It then shows you guys the script, so what the hook is, like some ideas, and then some ideas and examples to actually get your brain thinking on how do I actually create these different types of content. And we've done this for the 6 main types of content that there are in your business. And then on the bottom, we have copywriting elements that convert. I spent a lot of time writing content, guys, a ton of time writing content. I cannot tell you how much time I've spent writing content, and I've really nailed down about 7 elements that I try to include at least 3 of them in every post that I do to actually drive sales or plant the seed of driving sales. And so these are just here to remind you of what some of your content should include. And then I've included a bunch of hook ideas and a bunch of call to action ideas for you guys here. So these 2 are here and available for you guys, and they will be found in your dashboard. Okay, so this is the social media content planning section. Again, the one in your dashboard is going to be a little bit more simple, but I just wanted to show you how robust this really is and what you guys can really do with it over time. The one here that I kind of skipped over on the homepage is revenue tracking. And I'm going to show you guys this one just before we go into the next section, the analytics tracker. But knowing your revenue is really unbelievably important in your business. If you do not know your total sales for every single month and your total cash in for every single month, you do not know your business. And so one of the things that I do each month at the end of the month is I come in here and I update these. It's usually pretty delayed because I have to wait on these numbers from my accountant. But you guys can see here that in September, we did $42,811 in sales, and I'm still waiting on the total cash in from my accountant for September. I know that in October, we're currently sitting at about $30,000 in sales, and I know we're currently sitting at about $19,000 in cash. And so this will kind of give you guys an idea of how much cash you have on hand. It's broken down by month, and then it totals up the totals for you. And because we're about to switch into a new year, we've also included everything for next year, all of the months for next year, and then your totals for that. So total sales, guys, if anyone is confused on what's the difference between total sales and total cash, Total sales is really the total amount of money that you will collect from a payment plan. So let's just say that you have an offer and it's $1,000 and you sell it on a payment plan of 2 payments of $500. Okay. So we're just going to say that you sold this offer in September. Your total sales for September is the total amount of the payment plan. So your total sales is $1,000, but your total cash on hand is only $500. Okay. So your total sales would be $1,000. Your total cash on hand is going to be $500. So total sales is everything you expect to receive when the payment plan is paid in full, and total cash is just what you received for payment this specific month. So now that we have that one kind of covered, let's head into the analytics dashboard. Last week, Chantel did an incredible training on your social media funnel, okay? Creating and building a social media funnel. And she talked about the importance of also tracking the data. The data that we need to track on our social funnel is listed here for you guys. So you've got total reach, total profile views, total website clicks, total conversation started, and the number of sales actually generated from that. Okay, it's broken down by month. And across the top, it's broken down by platform. So you can see I've got Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all the data. I don't recommend looking at this version. And then I've got the same ones for 2023 up here as well, because we're about to switch gears into a new year. I'm excited that we're going to have our first 7-figure year next year. Let me know in the chat what you guys are going to be doing in sales next year. I'm excited to learn. And it's really important, guys. It is extraordinarily important to know your data. If you guys don't know these numbers, you're running your business blind. You're genuinely running your business blind. Knowing how many people you reached, how many people took that next step and did the authority piece, which is going to your profile, how many of those people actually clicked on your website, and how many of those people actually either booked a call or actually made a purchase is so unbelievably important. If you do not know these things, you are running your business blind, and data, especially this type of data, is something you guys are going to need to start to know as you scale. These really truly are the basics. There are so many other things that Chantel and I look at from a numbers perspective, but these are really the high level things you guys need to be tracking in your business, a minimum of once a month, truly like a minimum of once a month. Okay. And so this is something that I don't do. Alex comes in here and updates these every Friday from the first of the month to the date that we're on. And then she does a final one at the end of the month to see kind of where these numbers are at. We've got our monthly revenue tracking. I showed you guys this on the homepage. It's the exact same. So as you guys actually update the one on the homepage, it updates this one automatically as well. You guys can see here that I've also put in a like a total 2022, because we've only got September and October in here. It's showing our revenue at 72,000. We're currently sitting at about 280,000. Okay, so this is really helpful. You need to know your revenue. You need to know what's coming in and what's going out. The next one that we have, and it's kind of hard for me to show you simply because it's got private data in it. So let me show you on this one. So the final one that we've kind of built in here for you guys is your monthly recurring revenue tracker. And essentially monthly recurring revenue is what all of you guys dream of having. It's that passivity that you're talking about. Okay. When people talk about passive revenue, what they're talking about is monthly recurring revenue. Okay. And your monthly recurring revenue is essentially determined by the number of payment plans that you have ongoing in your business. So if we look at this example, and the way that you guys use this is every time you make a sale, you come into here and you put the sale in your dashboard. So every time you make a sale, you come in here and you put it in your dashboard. So in this example, we can see that Ashley, this fake client, started with us in September, and she has a 3-month payment plan, and that payment plan is $100. So we put $100 in each of these categories. Okay, so we put $100 in September, October, and November. Now you guys can see, if we're looking at November, and this is our monthly recurring revenue tracker, this shows you how much money you're actually starting with in your business. Okay, this is showing you how much money you're starting with in your business. So if you do not have this, the thing that happens as business owners, if you are not tracking this, is you kind of, the moment a new month starts, you kind of think, I'm starting from ground zero. I'm starting from scratch all over again. But that's actually not true if you guys have payment plans. And so the goal here is to show you like, okay, I already have $297 already coming in next month. So if my goal is to hit 5,000, then I only need to do $4,500 in sales. Okay, or if my goal is to hit $500, then I only need to do $200 more in sales. Okay, so that's what this section is really designed to do. And this is actually super, super important. We actually had something happen where all of our client payment profiles got deleted. It was a glitch in the system, and I had this documented, and it saved our butts because I was able to come in here and go, okay, these are all the people that we have on payment plans. And it's going to feel like it's not worth doing in the beginning because the numbers might be low. But if we look at ours, this number down here is about $19,000. So every single month that we run our business, we start off with about $19,000 coming in, cash coming in. Okay, so this is really helpful for you guys to start to understand and plan ahead. For example, if you're sitting here in September and you look and you're like, oh my God, by December, I only have $197. This is a good sign that you need to sell something in November, right? November, you need to be putting an offer out there. And so this one is extraordinarily important to be starting to use and flexing that muscle when you guys are actually building your business and landing sales. It's going to help you guys stay organized, and it helps you know that you're not starting from scratch every single month. I'm going to show you guys one more, and that's going to be our sales call tracker. This one's not included, but I do think it's helpful. Sales calls are one of the most valuable things that you guys will do in your business. It's a direct connection and conversation with your people. This is where you get to understand their language. You get to understand their stories. You get to understand how they talk and what they want and what they truly desire in their own words. And I always say that the best marketers don't try to market their business. They let their clients market their business for them. Okay, they let their clients market their business for them. And the only way to really do that is through sales calls. So we use our sales call tracker. It's pretty simple. You guys can see we've got, call booked. It looks like a Trello board, follow-up, purchase, completed, no show, not a good fit, etc. And all of these things that are checked off here, I'm just going to shrink this down. All of these things are how we onboard a client. And so this one can be really helpful if you guys have an extensive onboarding process. We have a lot of things that happen right after the sale. The interactions that your clients have with your business immediately after you make the sale determines their success in a really big way and determines how they feel about that investment. And so these are all the things that we have to do every single time a new client joins our container. And this allows us essentially to come in and just say, okay, we added them to the Facebook group. I added them to Xero, which is my accounting software. We sent the contract, they signed it. We added them in Slack. And we added them to that monthly recurring revenue tracker that I showed you. And so setting up some type of system like this is super, super important in your business, just to make sure that everybody has the same experience, right? I think that's the most important thing that you guys can give, is making sure that every client who comes in your door has a very streamlined and similar experience. Okay, so this is it. This is the Design to Sell Notion dashboard. This is how we track and plan our entire business. You guys can see that there's some other things in here as well that we didn't go over, but we covered the majority of them. And a lot of these things are actually included. So this is the dashboard that you guys will actually get access to if you guys decide to enroll. You get the time management tab, the analytics, the social media content planning, and then of course this beautiful homepage with that transformational offer tracker and all of your tech and important links. Chantel is going to drop the link to invest in this for those of you guys who haven't done that yet. She's going to drop the link in the chat for you. Again, Notion is free to use. You can purchase this the template that we kind of just walked you guys through, and it is completely free to use and set up for all of those features that are in there that we showed you. The only reason you would need to upsell is if you are collaborating with a team member. Then you would need to upsell to the $5 a month fee. We do have a couple of minutes here. So if you guys have any questions for me, please let me know. Let me know in the chat if this was interesting, helpful to see. And I also do just want to remind you guys that you're looking at the dashboard of a business that has been in business and selling the same program consistently for almost 2 years now, which is kind of crazy to say. So we have a lot of processes in place. Chantal and I have worked behind the scenes in hundreds of coaching and course-based businesses. And I would not, and I do not want you guys to think that yours needs to look like that. I just want to show you guys the full capabilities of Notion and how it can really help you, and the level of organization and the level of planning that we have in our business that allows us to consistently hit those $40,000 months and to feel safe scaling into $100,000 months, right? I think one of the biggest things that stops people from growing their businesses is this fear of like not being able to handle an influx of new clients. But I can genuinely say with certainty today that if 50 new people joined our offer, not only would that be a lot of revenue. I mean, that would be dope. That would be almost $500,000 in sales. But I know without a doubt that we would be able to serve each and every one of those people at the same level and get them the same result. And that only happens because we have this level of planning and we have this level of systems and this level of structure in our business. You should have some ideas around those and your analytics. Those are the 4 things that you guys really should be, I believe, at any level of your business, at a minimum, looking at. To just make sure that you are running your business in a way that is not going to overwhelm you. Some of you guys just saw that and it was overwhelming. That would have overwhelmed me 2 years ago as well. And we've built that layer by layer, okay? Layer by layer. So do not think that you guys need to jump in and be there at this moment in time. You guys absolutely do not. I don't see any questions in the chat. So I'm just going to assume that y'all are mind blown. And we'll leave it at that. Chantal dropped the Notion business dashboard link in there for you guys. We're going to leave this training up. It'll be in the guide section if you ever want to come back to it and relook at it, revisit it. It'll be here for you. Guys, you really can, and I really truly mean this. Like, if you just spent 20 minutes a week setting up that thing for yourself, 20 minutes a week, you will cut your overwhelm. You'll cut it out completely. 20 minutes a week, managing your to-do list, planning out your to-do list, looking at your marketing calendar, excuse me, guys, planning your content in that way. You guys will save yourself so much time. So grab your dashboard. I love you. My voice is telling me to get the heck off of this thing. And I will see you guys next Friday. We're doing another live. It'll be a good one. We're talking about business models. So I will see you guys next Friday.